morning, campers. Here at the Trapper John shelter. I'm about to leave. I don't know why it's called Trapper John shelter, if it has anything to do with MASH or not. But there's a cool old stone fireplace here with some antique stuff on it. I believe this is the remnants of the Dartmouth Outing Club's cabin, I think. But it's kind of cool. You know, it's right across from the shelter. Like, I'm standing right in front of the shelter right now, and you got the nice fireplace to look at. Old ruins of the fireplace. So today, I'm walking back to my camp while I talk to you here. Today, my original plan was to go to the Ubiquiti shelter. It's only 12 miles, though. That would leave a 15-mile day tomorrow to get to the Hikers Welcome Hostel in Glencliff, New Hampshire, which is the last stop before the Whites. I'd rather not do 15 miles on my way into a hostel, because then I have less time in the hostel to relax and do laundry and shower and charge up my stuff the night before. I'm going to take a 0 Saturday anyway, but still, I like having a shorter day to come into the hostel. So I think I'm going to go past the Ubiquiti shelter. About 3 or 4 miles, there's a stealth site near a small stream called Brackett, Brook, I think it's called. But in any event, here's where I camped last night. This spot right here in front of my poles right here. That's where my tent was. A very nice spot. I love pine needles. This is all pine needles here. As you can see how dry it is. You know, it is very dry. Pine needles tend to stay dry, and the ground underneath them tends to be very soft. I don't know why, if it's just the decomposing pine needles from years past. But if I can find a flat spot with that's covered in pine needles, that's my ideal camping spot, because it's always dry. You never get mud and dirt and too many leaves sticking to your ground cloth. The pine needles just seem to keep the moisture down for whatever reason. So I love camping on top of pine needles. So anyway, that's my plan for today. I'll check in again if I have anything, new updates or anything changes, or if I see anything cool. But right now I got to get on the trail. Okay, I know it's hard for you to judge elevation changes on video. I just came up these wooden logs and kind of like a staircase, and then farther down you can see the mountain I came up. And now this is Smart's Mountain. So you can see behind me here, see right there, oh, you can't see my finger. See right there, see those black things? Those are rebar. Those are in the rock to help you climb up. And then farther up, like up there, it's dark up there, you can't really see. Up in there is where I'm headed. It's super steep. It's got to be 35 to 45 degree angle, I would say. It's steep. So I'm just taking a break here, catch my breath. But I wanted to show you the rebar there, right there. I haven't seen rebar since, I don't know if it was Connecticut or Massachusetts. But there's more of that the farther you go north, because it just gets so steep in the rocks. So we're getting into the rock climbing portion of this trip. Lots of rock climbing. So I just had a break up at the top of Smart's Mountain. There's like a fire warden's cabin or something up there that they let hikers use. I stopped in there, had my lunch, signed the register. I did not go up the fire tower. I heard there was someone up there sleeping. And then someone told me it was Optimus Grime, who I had met back in Harper's Ferry the weekend of the Flip Flop Festival. He was working at the Town's Inn. And then I just passed a guy in the trail, Figs, who I had last seen just outside Delaware Water Gap. He was going south, and of course I'm going north. So he was doing a section south, and then he flipped back up, and now he's doing everything from Massachusetts essentially up to Katahdin. So he just passed me again. And seen him in, I don't know, over a month. Any event, so he knows Agony of all things. Agony's the guy I met at the hostel, Hanover Adventure Tours hostel, and who was at the shelter last night with me. So he's going to eventually catch up to him. And so that's it. That was a tough climb. That was probably the longest, steepest climb I've seen yet, that Smarts Mountain. So that was just a little precursor to the Whites. That wasn't even the tip of the iceberg compared to the Whites. And now I have to do Cube Mountain, or Mount Cube, whatever they call it. That's the next one. After I climb that and come down the other side is the Hexacuba shelter at about the 12-mile mark. And I'm planning on going past that a good 3 or 4 miles and stealth camping for the night to get me closer to the Hiker's Welcome Hostel in Glen Cliff, New Hampshire, which is where I will take a zero and stage everything and do a gear shakedown for the Whites. And I'll probably take out absolutely everything I do not need for that 10-day stretch or whatever it takes me to get through the Whites. And I will mail that ahead of myself. Or I'll just put it in my bounce box and send my bounce box ahead, so that I'm literally carrying the minimal weight possible. But we'll go into more detail about that when I get to the hostel.